Hi, everybody. It's your friend Daniel Hutchins. As you see, I have my hand over my face. I'm kind of laying down in a very uncomfortable position. So I can't seem to sleep for some weird reason. So I am doing another live stream. Yep, doing another live stream. So today's live stream, we're talking about some things from our friends Cinema Blend. Yes, we're talking about information from our friend Cinema Blend. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about Ben Affleck again. Now, I know I've talked about Ben Affleck quite a few times, so we're visiting him again. Alright, so Ben Affleck has explained why working on Justice League was the worst experience ever. Alright, so this is 5 hours ago. So, Batman actor Ben Affleck does not really look back fondly on his movie. Okay, so there is no secret to anyone who follows along with the DC Extended Universe, and that with Justice League. Justice League was a trouble from the start. The finalized movie came in theaters in 2017, was largely reshot by Joss Whedon, and has skewed drastically from the Zack Snyder version. Not to mention the public later learning the numerous behind-the-scenes battles. Now, Batman actor Ben Affleck has said that on his time on Justice League was the worst experience ever for him. Alright, so although not all that has to do with the movie itself. DC Extended Universe fans would recall that following Justice League, Ben Affleck was supposed to direct his own Batman. Again, which should have been the first time playing his character in a movie. However, reports say from early 2017 he was relinquished from helming these duties. 2 years after that, he officially exited the project. From a conversation with the LA Times, otherwise known as the Los Angeles Times, about both his professional and his personal life. Now, Ben Affleck, again, guys, has discussed how he's realized he would not be happy directing, and he said the following about Justice League and why it was so difficult for him. It was really Justice League that was the nadir for me. It was a bad experience because of a confluence of different things. My own life, my divorce, being away too much, the competing agendas, and most importantly, Zack Snyder. Personal tragedy. Again, Snyder's daughter had died by suicide in 2017, and because of reshooting, it was just the worst experience. It was so awful. It was everything I didn't like about this. It's become the moment where I said, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not even about liking Justice League. It was so bad anyway. So because of that, I could have been anything. So, in addition to being saddened about director Zack Snyder losing his daughter, the subsequent frustration about how Justice League was being changed following the filmmaker's departure, we know Ben Affleck was struggling through his own issues, particularly that of his divorce with Jennifer Garner, his relapse in alcohol, and his pieces together, and no wonder why he feels so miserable working on another DC movie. With this said, in January 2021, that was like exactly 1 year ago, last year, now we're in January 2022, but this was said in January 2021, the 1 year mark. Again, Affleck said that taking Batman role to excite his kids to wear the bat suit on his son's birthday was worth every moment from him suffering from Justice League production. The theatrical versions from Justice League were met with mixed critical receptions and underperformed in box offices. Again, we already said this millions of times. Again, this resulted that the sequel being set aside. Warner Brothers reevaluates the DC Extended Universe approximately 3.5 years later. We had the Zack Snyder Justice League. This allows the fans to finally see the tale Zack Snyder had originally created for Ben Affleck Batman and his friends. As for the Batman under Matt Reeves, that's totally different. It transforms the Robert Pattinson's led reboot, which is just 2 months away from a release. Alright. Luckily for Ben Affleck, though, Justice League won't be the last time he plays Gotham's Cape Crusader. The honor belongs to him in The Flash, which will also feature his friend Barry Allen, meeting Michael Keaton's Batman. In fact, Affleck was said that his favorite scenes of Batman are in The Flash. And it's described working from the movie as very fun and really satisfying. It also encourages Affleck, who has also confirmed this will be his last time playing his character. So again, consider the Scarlet Speedster solo movie as the end of Ben Affleck Batman. Alright, guys, so you probably already maybe knew that already, but The Flash has to race into theaters on November the 4th. These who are looking forward to the Ben Affleck appearance can now watch him on a show called The Tender Bar on Amazon Prime Video. As always, guys, people here at Cinema Blend care about you guys a lot. Again, we continue to share the big updates of the DC movies. Okay, guys, so let me know your thoughts about that. I know we've talked about him a lot, and I just figured I'd share it again. Alright, let's go to superheroes. Probably has to be something we haven't talked yet before. I don't know. But we're gonna see if there's something. So now we're gonna talk about Jeremy Renner. Okay, I talked about him a lot too in the past 2 months. I've talked about him a lot. But Jeremy Renner reveals which Marvel movie he absolutely won't rewatch. Alright, which Marvel movie got Hawkeye the most emotional? Okay, guys. Jeremy Renner has spent more than 10 years playing Hawkeye. He's been particularly every Marvel film since 2011 Thor, with a couple exceptions. He is one of the original Avengers who's witnessed this evolution of other Avengers that came and gone. The changes has led Hawkeye to be sensitive about his past. The actors opened up which Marvel movie won't be on his rewatch list anytime soon. Now, most people of us have a rewatch list, which is, whatever. But the release of Hawkeye on Disney Plus has proved to be Jeremy Renner is integral to the MCU in his film debut, but being one of the last original Avengers left, and has caused Hurt Locker star to take the bigger roles with the likes of Rob Downey Jr., Scott Johansson, and Chris Evans all gone. Again, guys, these other stars would relive their times by rewatching old Marvel Cinematic Universe films. Renner isn't into that as much, especially if one specific one. The Hawkeye star has revealed to BBC, which is a radio station, his reason for not rewatching the Infinity Saga finale. We know Avengers Endgame. Okay, here's his quotes. I saw it at the premiere, but that was just something to celebrate for all of us. We're all laughing and weeping. It was like a lot to do. I'll never watch this again. It was a difficult experience. We're all just a sobbing mess. We're laughing. It's amazing. We're like an audience members that are awesome to experience. I mean, a lovely, beautiful experience to share. Given the changes the Marvel Cinematic Universe has experienced after Infinity Saga finale, it is understandable for a Marvel Cinematic Universe star to avoid the film. Not only does this movie mean the end of influential cycle for Rob Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, and Chris Evans, but saying goodbye to Marvel and all the other Avengers. Okay, so Renner is the most more personal about having shared the big screen with them for almost a decade. Again, it channels his feelings about the deaths of Tony Stark, Natasha Romanoff, and Steve Rogers in Endgame. At least we know Jeremy Renner got to share some special moments at them at the premiere. The bond between the Marvel Cinematic Universe family has been from displays for recent months. Marvel has also celebrated decades of success. Robert Downey Jr. got smushy about the end of time as Iron Man. Again, of course, he shouts out to his other fellow Avengers, as well as Samuel L. Jackson, in a heartfelt thank you note. Again, RDJ even gave Deadpool Ryan Reynolds, the original James Rhodes, Terrence Howard, a special shout out. Again, working from Endgame has appeared to be an emotional affair, if anything. Okay, while the Avengers finale might not be on Renner's watch list, it appears his time in Marvel Cinematic Universe is not done yet. Viewers can see his show on his series on Disney Plus. While you're there, you can also watch Endgame to relive the joy and the sadness. Okay, guys, just letting you guys know. Again, I talked about Jeremy Renner lots of times before, just like I had said with Ben Affleck. I talked about him a lot too. So we're gonna be talking about one more thing, and then I'm gonna probably knock myself out and go to sleep, catch some Z's. Uh, okay. Sorry, we are finding something. Now we're basically going into the next part, the next page. Let's see here. Hmm. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about something a little different. We're going to talk about Spider Man No Way Home. Now, I know we already talked about Spider Man No Way Home 1,000 different times on the channel. Now, we're going to mention it again. Alright, there's one Spider Man No Way Home scene that bugs the hell out of me. Okay, I love the movie. It's very almost nearly perfect, except one thing. And here's going to talk about what it is. Colin is going to spoil Spider Man No Way Home, so do not read this if you haven't seen the movie. You have been warned. So let me start with this. Spider Man No Way Home was my favorite movie of all time, and that is no hyperbole. Spider Man is my favorite character from comic books and has been since my early days. John Watt movies and love letter of Spider Man, the Spider Man fans that captures everything coincidental, the formations of his hero. It spreads those traits amongst three generational representations of the icon, and body sacrifice of Tom Holland, perseverance in the face of sorrow, Andrew Garfield, and leadership, Tobey Maguire. The perfect Spider Man movie, full stop. Again, it's not a perfect movie, but there are flaws. Most of them just minor. But this prevents Spider Man No Way Home from being a flawless film. Again, keep a note, guys, there's one scene that has several issues with it. It speaks larger Marvel Cinematic Universe programs. Again, I want to hash this out as quick as I can, so even though it's nitpicking, the overall movie is an impossible miracle to plan and execution. It's a joyride from start to the finish. Underneath those words, I have a stupid advertisement sponsor from some girl wearing a swimsuit. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. This is your absolutely last chance to bail out before we get into massive Spider Man No Way Home spoilers. You have been warned. If you don't like spoilers, leave the video. Okay, last night marked my third viewing of Spider Man No Way Home. I went to see it as many times as I can when it was still in the theaters. The big screen because once it leaves, the opportunity disappears. Probably forever. Now, on the stage where I anticipate a rival of exciting scenes, Spider Man and Strange's confrontation from the mirror dimension, and the Goblin fight, corridors of Happy's apartment building, William Defoe's face breaking out in a menacing, weird smile that will haunt me for years. Again, we realized last night, however, there's one scene I dread as it approaches because it feels like a tackled on blemish to otherwise magnificent works from the art. It's the scene where Peter, Tom Holland, and Happy Hogan, John Favreau, were at Aunt May's grave. We already can hear some people stepping up to defend it, so again, let me explain why this annoys me so much. Okay, production value of the scene was terrible. Most Macular's movies can be efficient, meaning that cheap. Now, it comes to picking up scenes, especially dialogue scenes, soon enough from obvious sets. Trust and wizardry of the voice effects team to hide the seams. The cemetery scene from Spider Man No Way Home blatantly looks like it was shot on a Georgia soundstage from the middle of the summer. The fake snow, a tight frame of two characters, so not to call attention to a fake background, almost flippant lacks of caring for reality of situation. Again, something as simple as Happy's outfit in that scene takes it out immediately out of it. Favreau sports a signature black suit, if Hogan wears virtually every Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. We already know that, but he's outdoors in the winter, outside grave. Could the costume department outfit Happy with a coat? They remembered to swap an oversized stocking cap on Holland. It doesn't help that Mark Webb tried a similar scene with Andrew Garfield from Amazing Spider-Man 2. But again, guys, I actually took the time to film on a location that he was dressed properly reflect the passing of a time with the influence of the season. This is how you do that scene. Okay. So there's a YouTube video that's followed underneath those words. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 visiting Gwen's grave. Now, you can check that out on your own time, but let's say what you will say about Webb's Amazing Spider-Man films, the director struggled with world building, mainly because this aspects of the franchise never interest him. Again, Webb is an indie filmmaker who invests in human emotions from graveyard scenes. Who again conveys the pains and heartbreaks of modern Peter Parker's from definitions of his wheelhouse. The frames that the shots convey the devastating isolation of Garfield's Peter was feeling now that his girlfriend Gwen is gone. It's an emotional gut punch on top of an emotional gut punch. We've already received it. Alright, so again, another graveyard picture down below that. Again, I'm not saying Watts doesn't sell emotional pain for Spider Man movies. Quite from the contrary, Holland's performance in Aunt May's death reflects the fear and denial we can feel in facing losing our role models. The shot of MJ and Ned silently hugging Peter on the rooftop from the school physically forms the shape of a heart. provides emotional care from the Watt trilogy, but that care and attention to detail the missing of the Aunt May graveyard scene, and this sucks because Happy looks goofy in his flimsy suit. The writing almost makes it appear that Holland and Favreau filmed the scene on different days, even though Last Night View made me think it was on a set together. The visual scrimping of the scene instantly takes out all my emotional context of the conversation. Again, which is, by the way, completely unnecessary. Spider Man No Way Home screenwriters Eric Sommers and Chris McKenna have also said in recent interviews that they thought a lot about how the memory wipe spell works. Now, I'm just sitting up now. That hurts. My bed sometimes hurts. But they can't answer all these questions. Now, like Holland's Peter, they still have a valid ID. Again, does he disappear in every photo he might have been? Can't Ned and MJ forget Peter is Spider Man while still remembering who Peter is? If this is a complete memory wipe, then why does Happy remember May? He doesn't know Peter though, so he completely forgets that May had a nephew. This doesn't make any sense. And so that he only knows May because of that nephew. It gets really twisted. Now, these comic book logistics can't be overlooked. But again, message from the scene matters. All Happy confirms with Peter is that their loved ones are gone, like May and Tony. We can still honor their legacy by learning of their lessons that are passed down. We already get this moment, and Tobey Maguire Peter had told Tom's Peter, maybe she didn't die for nothing. Remember when he said that? Remember when he said that? Remember when he said that? It's really important. Uh, so now he might not have been at the peace with that entirely, but he's working toward it. The scene of Holland alone at the grave might have carried far more resonance from this isolated hero, similar to that of Garfield from The Amazing Spider Man 2 had opened with the aunt he remembered. Let's hear her from Beyond the Grave. Our words connected. He's going to embrace the responsibility that comes with his great power. Great power comes great responsibility. Yep. So, giving Holland's Peter one last courtesy call, a scene with Happy Hogan comes across the nods to the final remnants of the Iron Man Jr. critique that's been leveled to Marvel Macular Spider Man since day one. Again, maybe it was necessary to finally throw the shovel of the dirt in the coffin, level out and leave these relationships behind us and what we know as the Home Trilogy. I'm nitpicking, but we get that. I wish that scene had to be included. It doesn't feel like an add on, but a film right before lunch on a random Wednesday. This treats like a sequence they expected to land on a cutting room floor. Uh, yeah, so that's all, guys. That's all. That's all I'm talking about today. Now, I know it seemed a little weird at the end, but yeah, this is just another quick live stream. This is not a long live stream like my other ones were. Now, keep in mind, guys, I will probably do another longer live stream, probably in a couple so days or something. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up, let you guys know that I am going to be doing more videos from the weekend and next week. And I'm hoping that I'll catch you guys in for some more comic book content to share later. Um, right now, I'm trying to figure out if I'm sleeping or if I'm laying down, if I'm gonna stay up and watch Young Sheldon. I don't even know what I'm doing. But I'm just scratching my head. You see, I have a little spot right here on my face, my head, under my hair. If I keep picking it, it's gonna bleed and blue blood. But yeah, guys. So there's gonna be some more content that I'm gonna post later. It just not might not be like right away, but again, guys, I'm hoping that I'll see you guys in for more content this weekend and next week. And I guess I'll see you guys then. Later, guys.